State Representative Jim Struzzi, representing Indiana County, the 62nd Legislative District. I'm here with the Department of Agriculture Secretary Redding.
Yeah, Representative, good to see you.
Very good to see you again.
Welcome, Happy New Year to you.
Mr. Secretary. 104th Annual Pennsylvania Farm Show. I was just telling the Secretary, another incredible event for agriculture in Indiana County. I mean, and in Pennsylvania as well.
Yeah,
obviously, I'm focused on Indiana County, but tell me, how has it been going so far?
Well, we're always proud of the farm show.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've got the Indiana County Fair, which is a great fair in Pennsylvania. So you know the sort of the feel of the fair. This is our state fair,
right?
Competitive environment. You see the equine. You've got the kids in the show ring. You get a chance to judge some baked goods.
Right.
It's all here. Plus, we've got a great Pennsylvania preferred exhibit, a culinary stage.
Right.
It's going well. Theme is imagine the opportunities, and we're doing that all week. So
that's excellent.
Yeah, it's good.
Excellent. So, this past legislative session, my first year in office, we passed a lot of bills designed to help the ag industry, education, the dairy industry. How has that impacted the industry? Do you see things improving? And then building on that, what can we do, in the coming session to further help agriculture?
Well, thank you for the support on the Pennsylvania Farm Bill.
Absolutely.
And we've got it on the board behind us. I mean, it's a good reminder, but, it's historic. We've never had anything, we've never had a Pennsylvania Farm Bill. There's not another state that's got a Farm Bill. And nothing that's more as comprehensive, and I think that's the value of it. It's nice to have it, but it's so meaningful, right? Because we can talk about business planning, you can talk about youth and education, you can inspire a new generation to do this job in agriculture. You can help sort of get the public's interest peaked around agriculture being a meaningful place for employment. Right? There's a lot of great jobs. And I think on top of that, just being able to invest in conservation and the protecting our sort of borders, if you will, from some of the invasive pests and diseases, which are always a threat to us. So all of that is inside. The second wave, I think, is looking at what more do we need to do for dairy.
Yeah.
We're doing some things for dairy. I'm proud. I think part of the Farm Bill has a dairy investment program.
Right.
Great program. What we have seen, I think, in almost every grant program that we have offered, twice as much interest as money. We have small meat processor grant. We did 15 in 13 counties. We had twice as many grants. So to say that, I think if we're looking at, we've got the right model, but there's a lot of other needs out there that we can help somebody in the school through the one of the grants or meat processing or whatever. But keep looking at it. I think the success of the Farm Bill should give us all comfort in knowing we're doing the right thing, the right programs, with a lot of interest. So
we're taking some steps in the right direction. We just need to keep going on the right path.
Keep going. You've got momentum. I mean, we've got great feedback directly from farmers saying, being able to, for the very first time, a tax credit for the transition of that farm from one generation to the next. We've never been able to do that.
That's great.
That's a really important step.
That's a big concern that I have. In Indiana County, we see a lot of family farms just, generation after generation, and now there's no next generation. So I think those types of things are so important to keep that industry going, and those family farms are the backbone of our country, really. And I'm very proud and happy that I was able to support that.
Yeah.
One of the other questions I have for you, and it's something new, and I'm sure you've heard this before, but the hemp industry. We recently made it so that people can grow hemp as a crop. And we had some farmers try that in Indiana County this year, and I think they were successful, growing it for the CBD products and the industrial uses as well. But then they had a good crop, and then they couldn't do anything with it because they couldn't find a processor. So can you talk to me a little bit about that, and then what next steps might be to try and sort of complete the chain of growing to product to success, if you will?
Well, thank you. The hemp legislation we passed a couple of years ago was really critical, and Congress has continued to sort of make improvements in their last federal farm bill. We just announced this week the 2020 guidelines for Pennsylvania hemp growing.
Oh, good.
So it's out. That was one of the requests we had from growers in Pennsylvania, is please make an early decision about what the guidelines are going to be. Now, we still need some approvals from the U.S. Department of Agriculture, but we're in a good place. To your point, I think each year has given us a lot of important lessons.
Right,
this one you
right.
touch on about the supply chain,
Yeah.
the processing capacity.
Right.
There are regions of the state with some capacity, but we know in others, such as the West,
Yeah.
you need to have, particularly on the fiber side, and I think oil to a lesser degree, but those two particularly, we need to build that capacity. So I'm hopeful that the 2020 guidelines both speak to the needs and encourage processing. We also, I think, as a public policy piece, we've got to continue to work on treating the hemp industry from an investment standpoint,
Right.
and the state sort of support for loans and
Right,
job
yeah.
creation
The
opportunity
business
there.
side of things,
Yeah, it's a
right.
little different. It's not a prohibition, but I would just say to you that's one of those things that we've sort of been frustrated by a little bit, getting a lot of inquiries, but where do you make those investments? How do you structure that business, right? So some opportunity there, I think, for us to work together on
Absolutely.
Making sure we've got the right sort of structure at least in place to address that.
Well, good.
Yeah.
I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you.
Yeah.
I've been a big supporter of the agriculture industry. I love the Indiana County Fair.
I know, you guys do a great
love
job,
coming
too.
down here for this.
Thank you.
I had my milkshake. I'm going to have a few more. So,
Well, you can stock up and enjoy the potato donuts and some French fries and all these good PA preferred
Absolutely,
products. Get
yeah.
Some hard ciders this year.
yeah, it's a great opportunity to showcase Pennsylvania products, the hardworking Pennsylvania people that make all this stuff possible.
Yeah.
And so, if this airs before the show ends, it ends Saturday. This coming Saturday.
This coming Saturday, yeah.
So,
yeah.
come down to the Farm Show Complex and take part in
Come
this.
on down,
It's
enjoy
a
it.
great event. So,
Yeah.
Secretary
Happy
Reddy.
New Year to you. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for being here.
Absolutely.
Appreciate your support. Thanks.
Thank you.